It's 2026. Payday just dropped into your account at 12:01 a.m. You open the app, stare at the balance, and promise yourself, this time you'll actually save. By the 10th, the usual suspects have already taken their cut. Rent, groceries, that streaming bundle you forgot you renewed, one quick takeout order that turned into 3. The extra cash vanished again. The uncomfortable truth most people won't admit: your savings rate isn't stuck at rock bottom because you lack willpower. It's stuck because the entire system is engineered to make spending effortless and saving invisible. Right now, the numbers are brutal. The latest personal savings rate just hit 3.6% in December 2025. That's what the average American keeps after taxes and bills. Only 46% of people have enough cash to cover 3 months of expenses. Median emergency fund sits at around $5,000. Nearly half can't handle a surprise $1,000 hit without borrowing or selling something. And with inflation still chewing through wages, one broken appliance or medical bill is enough to reset the clock. This isn't a character flaw, it's the default design of modern money. Banks make it frictionless to swipe. Apps push one-click buys. Your brain, wired for immediate rewards, does the rest. The result? Most of us live one bad month away from panic while telling ourselves, next paycheck, I'll get serious. So let's walk through how the system is actually supposed to work, the version that actually moves the needle. It starts with one brutal rule: pay yourself first, not whatever's left over. First. The moment your paycheck lands, a fixed slice, 10%, 15%, whatever you can stomach, automatically leaves the checking account and disappears into savings or investments. You never see it. You never negotiate with it. It's gone before temptation arrives. Next layer, automate everything else. Rent, utilities, insurance, subscriptions, set them on autopay from the same checking account. Then automate the small stuff. Round up purchases, micro-transfers from every coffee run. The goal isn't perfection, it's making the default behavior the smart one. Then the quiet escalator. Every raise, every tax refund, every side gig payout, siphon a piece straight into the savings bucket before it ever feels like your money. Start at whatever rate you can handle today. Increase it by 1 or 2% every 6 months. Most people can absorb that without feeling the pinch. Finally, the tracking layer. Once a month you glance at the numbers. Not daily obsession, just a quick reality check to adjust if life shifted. New rent, new kid, new job. That's the entire playbook. Simple on paper, ruthless in practice. Except here's where the hidden mechanics kick in and the dream starts to bend. Your brain hates delayed gratification. Behavioral economists call it present bias. When the money is sitting there, visible, the latte or the new shoes wins every single time. Studies tracking real workers show that even with automatic enrollment in retirement plans, the long-term boost to savings rates is modest. Around 0.5% to 0.7% of income after accounting for people who opt out, quit jobs, or cash out early. The automation helps. It doesn't magically turn spenders into savers. Take the compound math everyone loves to quote. Save 15% of a $60,000 income, $9,000 a year, at a conservative 6% after inflation return. After 25 years, you're looking at roughly $400,000. Not life-changing on its own, but enough to change the texture of your life. Fewer panicked calls to family, more sleep, actual choices. But flip the script. At the national 3.6% rate, you're saving barely $2,000 a year. Same timeline, same returns, you end up with under $90,000. The difference isn't hustle, it's whether the system fights for you or against you. The irony is thick. The apps and influencers pushing set it and forget it make it sound effortless. One button and you're on the path to freedom. In reality, most people who automate still stall. They set it up, feel virtuous for 3 months, then life happens and they never raise the percentage again. Or they automate into a low-yield account earning 0.4% while inflation runs hotter. The tool works. The user has to keep steering. Meanwhile, the broader risks are stacking. Job markets in 2026 are twitchy. AI trimming roles, policy shifts, tariffs nudging prices. Healthcare costs keep outrunning wages. One layoff and the automated safety net either saves you or exposes how thin it really is. And the cruel part? The people who need automation most, those living paycheck to paycheck, often can't spare the initial slice to start the machine. But here's the part the highlight reels skip. You don't need to jump from 3.6% to 20% overnight. You need to make the next percent feel painless. Start stupidly small, 5% if that's all you can stomach. Automate it the day after payday so it feels like the money never existed. Then automate the bills so the checking balance looks smaller on purpose. Psychology hack. Use a high-yield savings account pulling 4 to 5% right now. Watch the first $1,000 appear without you lifting a finger. That single visible win rewires the brain faster than any motivational video. Next paycheck, nudge it to 6%. Then 7%. The brain barely notices the difference when it's gradual and invisible. Studies on real payroll deductions prove this. People accept small automatic increases they would never manually approve. Layer in the boring infrastructure. Link your accounts so transfers happen without logging in. Set calendar reminders every 90 days to review, not to stress, just to bump the rate or redirect if a windfall lands. The winners aren't the ones with iron discipline. They're the ones who removed discipline from the equation. The deeper truth? Increasing your savings rate isn't about becoming a different person. It's about building a different environment. One where the path of least resistance leads to more money tomorrow instead of less. Because when you zoom out, 2026 rewards the quiet systems more than the loud sacrifices. Wages aren't skyrocketing, costs aren't dropping, but the gap between 3.6% and 10% is the difference between surviving the next surprise and actually choosing what happens next. So here's the question that stays with you after the numbers stop scrolling. You already know exactly what will happen if you do nothing. Another year at 3.6%, another emergency that wipes the board. The automation button is sitting right there. One setup, 10 minutes. Will you hit it before the next paycheck lands? Or will you wait until the next crisis forces your hand? Your future balance is already answering. The only variable left is whether you listen.